Hi, this is me. Get real. My hair is like so crooked because I forgot I had it way up there. I was whispering today that I just needed some time. I needed to be able to just chill. I have to do some stuff for my business. I think, where did I put that folder? And I have a ton of stuff to do for my business. Um, I can't take it anymore. It's just like, and I'm whispering like, God, I don't have time for this. I'm just getting started with what I'm doing. I just wait in. I gotta use the bathroom. And my kid's like, come on, hurry up. And then she's like, oh, in 2 hours I need a ride, and then gonna go back to this and blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh shoot, I told my patients I was gonna see them before work, and I was gonna go to a meeting because I need a meeting right now, and I'm just so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. It's like it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. And I'm like, just like sitting in the car on the way home, like, God, my kid can hear me when I'm talking, and even if I'm whispering and I open the door, like, oh crap, she sits at the bottom of the stairs, and they're gonna feel like the kids are gonna feel like, oh, mom is kind of a jerk. Did I pay all my bills? I don't even know. Paid some of them. I don't know. There's a couple I probably should check. Not on the to-do list. It says pay bill. Ooh, I get to check this like the first thing I've actually checked off. So pay PGE and what's the other one? So I couldn't sleep last night, and I I have patients all over the place. I have stuff to do for my business. I'm going to check and see if I have to work next week. So I'm going to do a little bit of story. Like, I don't know if I want to talk about fiction. I need to get out of this headspace. I went outside. I couldn't sleep again at 2 a.m. And I'm not even going to try to blame my kid for making a lot of noise this time because I don't know what happened to me at 2 a.m. Oh, I might have a webinar today too. What is this? What is this password? I don't know if that's the right password. So I'm going to start with just feeling so next Saturday and Sunday is 6th and the 7th. And then I don't see anything in the schedule after that. That's going to weird me out as far as income is concerned. I signed up for the online dating, so I said yesterday in yesterday's video, which I don't know if I posted, that it was going to be, it's like bothering me, that it's going to be, like 10 days-ish, plus minus, for the next couple days. I don't want to add it up. So I have 10 days plus minus, and I have where I'm not gone out with anybody. I did a couple of texts back and forth with some people, and those people either I blocked. This is too loose. I blocked one, and the other one has ended the conversation. And this other person was looking for friends, and I don't know what that means because you got to think you don't know if these guys are really single or if they're looking for if they're like looking for hookup because they're not looking for a relationship. So I just felt really self-conscious, and I said on my audio recording, let me make sure I turned it off. I might not have. I said on my audio recording that if I turn it off, yeah, I was like, oh my God, I want some guy to evaluate my body. Someone told me, like, I wanted to be into modeling, and then you just get old and old and old and old and have kids and this and this. When I was like a kid, I wanted to be into modeling, and I'm super short. My face isn't right. My skin color's not right. My hair's not right. Nothing's right. Nothing. My eyes aren't right. Nothing is right. Nose isn't right. Body's not right. And I ended up, anyways, I had like 20-year-old women say, "Oh my God, your body and you look and act so youthful. We thought you were younger." And and I was like, "Oh, all this gray hair." Like, and some guys Usually married guys are like, oh yeah, gee, I just got married last month. I should have, like, dang it, I should have waited for you. Like, I'm just like this, like, drunk guys. I'm like, dude, okay, thank. That's flattering, but it's like, go back to your wife. That's fine. Um, I have other guys that were married that were trying to be subtle and be like, oh, you're trying to find somebody special. Well, like, your face and body is like a 20-year-old. I was like, what about my gray hair? Like, oh no, because I don't dye my hair. Like, oh, don't worry about that. Like, if one of these guys is able to talk to you, like, if these guys, like, you would have, someone said you would have like 1,000 guys. If they, it's like, I know you. If someone were to talk to you the way you are, like, you don't have a problem. And the thing is, I read this post, what do you call it, profile, and this guy was like, um, my weight, I swear I'm dehydrated. My weight went back into the 120s. It probably is because I work every day. You work, I spend all my money on food for the family, but you're just like not sitting there like shoveling food and salty stuff down, or even water for that matter. I opened this like 3 days ago. I'm probably like super dehydrated. This guy says, I was about to say like, which has been more rare, and this guy's post says, I see that I'm not what you're looking for, ladies, I'm out of here. And I was like, never mind. Like, I literally, like, the only reason I want to be able to, oh, I need a stapler. Where did I put it? There it is. Okay, I know where staples are now. The only reason that I would get off of this site, I think, would be for safety reasons, or if I found somebody, or like if I thought I don't want my face out there. I mean, that could be safety reasons or not, or you're like on to some other. So I forgot women's. How to make this list? That's all it balled up. Might be the only thing I forgot. I want to get this cinnamon maca. I'm so tired. So I was up all night for my midwifery thing, and I found out I have 2 out of the 3 requirements filled out, and one is 50 births, and I have charged for 52, and I thought I went to even an extra birth, and I bailed on that one. I said let the new student, because we were like transitioning. I should have gone to that birth, because one of the other births was a twin birth, and I think I have a chart for that. I think I do. And there's another chart I have that I started that I didn't do. I'm gonna see. So now I need 150 postpartum 50 unique patients, 150 different visits. So if you do one with one person and five is usually the maximum that they have for 6 weeks after birth. That's the schedule. So if I had 5 with one and 1 with one, then that would average 6. So that would just add it up. And you pretty much need 5 for every mother. And my problem is the hospital births, I probably didn't see a lot of them postpartum, some of them maybe. And if I only had 2 extra, including the 2 twins, that's already down. Well, that kind of evens it out, doesn't it? So I'm really concerned. I'm really freaking out right now. And I don't know. I might ask if I can use the doula birth or something. I only had like 1 doula birth. I don't know what to do. The only problem in the hospital is people are like inpatient while they're in the baby. So if you're with the doctor you shadow and it's like you come back hours later, like not the next day, it's like I didn't really count it as a postpartum. But the doctor I shadowed had these weird, like weekend or something overnight hours, and then the 1 day a week that he was in the office seeing patients was always that same day. And an occasional on call, and he worked at multiple facilities in and out of the state. So if I consistently went on that 1 day a week, then you're most likely to see postpartum. but it was kind of a short time. I don't know, it's just crazy. It's hard. It's hard for me to talk about it. So, I wanted to just discuss safety. I have like all this mail everywhere. I wanted to discuss safety because I'm not sure how to deal with it. I told my daughter that statistically speaking, black women are statistically less likely to get chosen for dates online, and my kid's response was the statistics for murder on there, and I'm like, so then I come home and I'm getting ready to, get my bag and stuff, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, sometimes I don't read the fine print, and it's not smart. I don't make recommendations, but I recommend that you read the fine print. Sometimes they tell you stuff changes, and sometimes they don't. And then you think, if you don't read it all the time, you think, oh man, they must have sent something out. There's another card I gotta give my kid. So I'll do that. I'll just leave it here. At least I know where the stuff is. Let me close it. It's really making me mad. I don't know what to think because I haven't really been out with anyone. So I come home and try to justify it and been like, you know what? I've attracted and hung out with the most dangerous, like, fugitive felons. And, like, then choose these guys that were, like, pedophiles when I was a teenager. And I was like, wait a second. Like, I didn't use the word attract when I first thought about it. I was like, I've survived the toughest of tough. Like, stupid. You were, like, playing Russian roulette. And then I'm like, I attracted these people. Like, these are the type of people that were normal to me for years of my life. So now I'm sitting here thinking, oh no. Like, I'm seriously freaked out. And, I'm like, I was like, God, I need help. Like, I'm not able to sleep. I was like, oh no, what if it's because I'm 40 something? And I'm like, I'm talking to people that I'm like, they might assume that I'm younger. And I was like, God, can they see my age on here? So what if I put like 10 years younger on accident? I was like totally future tripping, like, dude, if you connect to somebody online and then it's like, you see them in person or they see you and you're just like, okay, no, never mind. Or, like, there's probably a lot of people you don't connect with online that you would get along great in person. Like, probably, like, all the people that you don't get along, like, probably for me, there's like 90% of the people I don't get along with, or they don't find me attractive, or vice versa. Probably 90% of those people I'd probably get along great with in person and be like, oh, this is so fun. Like, let's hang out. Like, even if it was just friends or whatever, but I feel like you could be compatible with a lot of more people than you just look at a two-dimensional picture of somebody that doesn't have that, like, charm. And a lot of the profiles I see for the guys that have that really charming look, pretty much 100% of them are hookups. And I'm like, God, I hope that my profile doesn't say that. Let's check. Because I'm like Christian. I'm like, God help me. Like, should I even be doing this? Like, well, everybody's on there, and nobody's gonna talk. Nobody's gonna talk in person. Everybody's like you feel like there's like boom, boom, boom. Jane and that other guy's like boom, boom, boom. That caveman, or not Jane. I don't know, Jane. Caveman. They gotta come in. It's like, I claim this person as my spouse. I was sharing that story the other day. I don't think I finished it. I had this boyfriend from this. I don't think I finished the story, and if I did, whatever. I don't know if I posted it. I had this guy contact me because this one guy contacted me, and he goes, "Oh, I saw you and your friends at McDonald's in my small town. That's where the teenagers hung out, and that was when people could smoke inside, and that's when teens would smoke inside. And then when we got too rowdy, they put the no smoking sign up. And as soon as they did, like, it was like sheep. It's like it was like a little dog, a little, like, whatever, sheepdog. It's like we all, as soon as they put the no smoking sign up, we all got up and we would leave because everybody, like the people that were smoking, were hanging out with people who were smoking. And once they did that, and people couldn't chain smoke, they went out to the parking lot. Then we start driving around. Oh god, this is funny. This cracks me the heck up, yo. Oh, that's a gross picture. I had a picture that I thought was cute, and this dude was like, um, wow, like, I had another picture where I was like smiling, and I hate fake smiling, and they're like, wow, you look a lot happier. I was trying to do, I don't want to say too much. I was trying to do this pose. I was tired, like something that I think is adorable. Someone else was like, what the heck is your problem, dude? And so right now I'm like, I don't call the kettle black, yo. Like, don't call the kettle black because these guys are holding up like buckets full of live crabs and there's like machos like bringing home the bacon, man. It's like I saw these ones. Okay, I'm gonna try to find one that says somebody mysterious sent you a message. I don't think that somebody mysterious sent a message. A lot of these people. Oh, it's this guy. This guy's not my type. It's not rude. Drinks narcissist. What? Drinks often is. I'm very grateful that people are putting up. I'm gonna say no. So rude. So rude. I saw all these mostly already. I'm very grateful that people write their drinking and drug status on here, and I have like I'm like trying to think if I even hung out with anybody who's drink. I haven't hung out with anybody, so that means no. I've gone to some little parties, like the New Year's Day party, like they're not New Year's Eve, but like the next day party. It was like it's a different kind of party. You go safe and driving home. Like, you can't let your guard down. Like, this guy almost looks like the office guy. I'm like, like, this happened to me yesterday. I saw someone that unfriended me that was trying to, like, talk to me, and they were pretty perverse. Cute, yet perverse, and I didn't respond. They just, like, dropped me. So this person is looking for hookups. Ugh, I'm just gonna throw up. Anti-gun. So, I used to be afraid. Don't take it lightly. Used to be. See this guy's picture? It just screams hookup. And he doesn't have that on there. He doesn't have anything. This guy is too healthy looking. Like, this guy is too. Oh, he looks like he's looking for hookup. He's too muscular. It's like so rude. You think if I was like, I never was like, okay, my ex-husband would have natural muscles, and he had a job later that he had to do lifting a lot and stuff. He had like muscles, and only like towards the end of our relationship that he'd also like try to show him off and have to like do that. And I was like, I don't know. He was always strong, but he got stronger and muscular that way. I wouldn't say I took it for granted, but it wasn't like you're in the gym like working on your abs every day. I don't remember. Like, I was trying to leave the relationship. So I gotta leave soon, by the way. I just got home. Safety, like, I'm just like, oh, I was gonna say, if I was like 22, would I even say, like, I don't know, because I already had my first kid, I was already married. Would I be like, oh man, this guy is like so buff and like so like it just like scares me. I don't know if it's like again, calling the kettle black with my raw foodism and like the way I think about health things, and I'm just like, you get an OCD about your diet and about what you surround yourself with, but what are these people gonna do when they think that they're gonna go to the gym and be buff and have like some guy messaged me had like these big muscles there, and I was scared. I was like totally like scared. Let me open these blinds. I gotta let the rest of this really fall into my life before I drive myself nuts. Um, I was like, I'm gonna light some incense. I was like scared, but it's like, is there an inferiority? Is there an inferiority? Like, oh, these type of guys, they want to be like ripped. They want to be like walking around, hello ladies, hello. Like, am I like a future tripping? Like, I'm making stuff up, or are they just like, this is my thing, or I happen to be muscular and work out a certain thing, or have a certain sport that I end up training or being a trainer. You know, I don't know. But I think for the inferiority part, it's none of the business. Oh, are these people like, oh, I know I look good, and I only want somebody with me who looks good. And I'm like, oh, I don't look good. I'm not young. I'm not blonde. And so I'm like, yeah, this wouldn't work. But at the same time, if I liked a certain type of person and the way that they look and act, and like you can be heavy set, you could even like smoke and drink some and still look like your age, or like look. But some people I know, like some people that are just like trying to kill their bodies off, and they don't care about their health, and those people aren't, they're like not bad friends. But it's hard because there comes the negativity, like, I don't care if something takes me out. Like, this is also mine, not just like, it's like I was like obese and all this stuff, and I was trying to eat healthy and I couldn't like control it, and it's like, I don't know, I'm just going off the deep end here. Anyways, it's like if somebody has the mental, I guess it's more the mental. If they say, I'm gonna wanna, like, let myself be taken out or whatever, then you're like, I don't want to hang out with you, because you might be attracting, like, danger, like, you might be attracting harm to yourself. I'm trying to find my stuff from my office, and this is, like, ridiculous. This is, like, absolutely nuts. I need, like, some time, like, I need some, like, I don't know where my office folder is. I am having the worst time. Like, I wish I was exaggerating right now. There's a magazine that, oh, I can't find it. I think it was like $400 for like 6 copies or 4 copies or something. $100 an issue or something for this magazine. That's a lot of money. Alright, so this is from my eBay store, so that needs to go in the crate. And there's the mail. That's my son's. Important insurance stuff, and I didn't get the staples. Alright, so I would feel like, since I didn't date anybody, and I, since I didn't date anybody and in a long time, and hardly in the past, I never finished the story. So this guy, calls, and I was like, this guy was like black, and I was like, I never like dated or went out with any black guys, and so like, anyways, so I was like, nope, and then they're like, we got your number, like we saw you at McDonald's, we were sitting at a table across from you. I was like, you saw us, right? And I was like, I don't know. I was like, probably. It's a small town, and they were probably two dudes from out of town. And what the heck they were doing talking to my ex-boyfriend? I'm like, what? That guy was a jerk. I'm like, ow. And so, like, a minute later, this other guy calls. I was like, hey, yo, I'm Bruce's friend. He's like, yeah, we got your number from your ex-boyfriend, and you are going to be my next girlfriend. Okay? Okay. And I don't know if he, like, hung up the phone. So then I'm like, he's like, I'm the white dude, and you are going to be my girlfriend. And I was just like, okay. I'm like, is that all my life? That's like all I was. Like, it's like unicorns and like, what are I was just like Qualiber? Unicorns and leprechauns and like, what is the other thing? Oh, Ewoks. Like, I am like, I think my daughter had a unicorn costume. I'm like a little, I want to be like, anything is possible. Like, I believe in this thing that never happens for me. Like in the past, it's like it's like people that got struck by lightning, not once, not twice, but 5 times, or some people happen. It's like unicorns, leprechauns, and Ewoks are gonna like, I'm gonna go in my backyard tonight. It's like that big old spider. Oh, scared me. Oh my god, I can't even think about it right now. So Ewoks. Oh god. And then it's like so dusty. Yuck. So I'm like, all right. And that lasted a little while, and I don't know what he was doing hanging out. I'm in a small town. I guess these guys that go back and forth between the city and hang out with black folks. So the people in my town, except for my friend, they were kind of like scared of blacks, or they liked my friend a lot. So I guess it's an individual case by case. Um, I was at a party with this guy at his house, like a get together. And we're sitting next to the TV, and this guy never like really cared. He was like nonchalant. Like I kept waking him up all the time, and it was like kind of weird. Just like he was with his mom. Like I don't know. I was like, all right, now I'm gonna bug you. Now that you're my boyfriend, I go to your house every day of the summer and just like hang out while you're still sleeping. And I don't even know how I got in the house. And would hang and drive around and do stuff and hang and not really do too much. And I I I ended up, so there was Flint, and this guy's from Detroit. The other guy would go back and forth between Flint and my small town, so they weren't like terribly afraid of black girls, or at least someone like me that wasn't like supermodel material. This guy like avoided me when I went back to college, but I shared another, or when I went to college, I shared another video that he also said that some girl had called him while we were together, like while we were in the same room, and was saying that she was pregnant with his baby. And I didn't even say anything. Like I was like back then I didn't learn anything from my family about relationships or like intimate relationships or anything. So like I feel like now I'd be like, depending on the circumstances, I'd probably like, depending on what I thought the marriage, like if it was like, sorry, marriage, I was thinking of my ex-husband. If it was in that marriage, like it doesn't matter if it's a marriage or not marriage. If I found out like, oh, you're sleeping around with someone and they're pregnant, okay, I'm out of here. But depending on the situation, did it happen before we were together, or were we like in an open relationship? But I was sitting at this house, and this guy never cared about anything. Like I was never like treated well by boyfriends. Um, it was more of a hobby for me to just like have makeout sessions and like think that I'm loved by somebody. And these people were like kind of like borderline like borderline or maybe like gangsta type guys, white guys, this couple, like, kind of like trouble. And this guy was like going back and forth between his dad's in Detroit and up north. So, I don't know if I would, when I would see, it's pre-cell phone. You don't know when you're going to see him. Usually the parents had home phones back then in the 90s. And the one time that he expressed any concern over me as his girl, and I think he was still doing stuff because I had bought like condoms and like they were disappearing, and I was like, I counted there was only supposed to be one gone. And I was like, he's like, oh, my little brother was playing with it. I was like, yeah, right. I was like, I should have accused him of cheating and gone away. Because I think it happened twice. But we were in this like get together and people were at the house and we were really close to TV, like sitting on the floor. And my ex-boyfriend was there and that guy dumped my butt. And then they were calling from my friend's house talking about all this stuff that no one should be talking about me, like talking garbage about me. This guy was like, you just want to freaking like, some of the stuff that they did to me was illegal. Like some of these guys, I was like, you just want justice. Like they're going away free from assault and illegal activity about whatever. Like you would hope that they would change their ways. And it's like you want to like think some of these things when you're still all under 20. It's a fine line between some of the stuff that's going on, but every state actually is different too. If it's straight up assault, doesn't matter what age you are, what just happened to me. But this guy was in there, and I was trying to like look back and think. I don't know if I was like thinking like oh, this guy, why did he dump me? And this other guy, that was my boyfriend. This is the only time he put his hands on me. He just like, don't be looking at him. He's like, you want to look at someone, look at me or something. He's like, you keep your eyes. Like, I think we were sitting close to the TV or something. I was like, dang, he's mad. I was like, I guess I didn't realize it, but I must have been like, kept checking out my ex. And he was just like, like, you're my girl. But he didn't hurt me. He's just like, like, and I was like, raised in an abusive household, so that probably wasn't like when people would put their hands on me and stuff, I thought, oh, they really like me, they want me to be theirs, and they want, like, that's what, like, oh, they're really mad that a spoon fell out of the drain, or the dryer thing in the kitchen. They're really mad about it, so they're going to beat you over it for 2 hours, because they want you to be trained to not ever let that happen again. And so I was like, oh, they're trying to help me to behave better, like, it was straight up abuse. Like, it was the reason. Anyways, I feel like I'm gonna throw up, guys. I'm gonna start crying. So, I might add this in my story. I'm going to make another story. And it's gonna be kind of type A go-getter is talking to, someone used this word, I hate it, frazzled mother, frazzled single mother. I'm gonna move some of the stuff off my phone. And so in my story, I'm just gonna say, I said I was gonna, did I say this already? I was gonna say that I was gonna, excuse me, to have these girls tell me that I look young, have these married guys, but never, ever, ever in the past have I, unless I have some blurry picture and no one can see my body, I have really never, ever, ever had anybody like a single dude, just like unless I was at a college drunk party, come up to me and say, wow, you're really cute. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. I'm talking like 20-year-old language or 19-year-old language. Like, oh, wow, you mind if I get your number, like something like that. Like, it doesn't have to be like that. I'm just, like, I am so out of touch that then I feel childish because I don't know. Like, if they get too like paws on you, like, oh, how, like, you're just like, yuck. But if they like, if they thinking that and then they say something more subtle, then you're like, oh, thank you. Oh, I'm gonna blush. And then if they're just like, whatever, like, slapping or stuff around and yelling at you, you're just like, go away. Like, before I'd be like, okay, let's hang. Like, that type would be the type I would hang with. Why is this still like this? And I make the sounds off. I was gonna, I told someone I wanted to be in a modeling that I was getting old, and it's not going to be, like, I was determined to outlive other people. It's not going to be, like, I'm just getting older. I was, like, imagining what I would be like if all my hair turns gray, and if I could actually heal my scalp. I was gonna add to one of my stories, since everything is all hearsay now. I've not been writing or typing anything like I was doing before for like a month. I had some excellent flow with that. What it's like when, so a man can get older, and I was talking about bald head. There's a lot of people here that have like blonde hair and they are bald or light brown. And my fear of skinheads, I was just like, I was fearful of like guys that are like old enough to be your dad. I was like, oh, that guy is kind of seems like he seems mentally at my age. But you're like, what is this guy looking for? He's a dude. What's he looking for? And some of these people, I didn't want to, if they, so then the guy would be older. A lot, in my town, a lot of them dudes, unless they're homeless or something, even like I have homeless people that have more money than I do. But some of these dudes, like, they have homes, beach homes, family, retired, they can do whatever they want, go where they want, on vacation, whenever they want, babysit their grandkids, whatever. And they get more wit, they get more wise, they get more how, like, whether they're married or not married or divorced or widowed or whatever, then they know what the right things to say. Like, because when you get older, like, if you licked the light post, it's October now, if you lick the light post because you got dared and your tongue gets stuck to it in the wintertime, you're like, I'm not, like, you learn as you get older, like, that works or that doesn't work. And that's where they can be witty. Like, some people, their personalities could, or the looks that they have, they're going to be like, oh, I know I look good. Whether they look good or not, it's all perspective from someone else. And some of those people would be like, I don't know if I did the date like this. Those people would be, all ages would be able to, like, mac on somebody. And so I feel like what I said the other day, it's like a game of cheese. I was going to say cat and mouse, like cheese, cat and mouse. It's like if I was a mouse, like some bigger thing is coming after me, and I'm like, ew, I don't like you. And then I'm like, I want cheese, and I'm chasing the cheese, like, I'm chasing the cheese, whatever's rolling down the hill, and I can't catch it. And so it's like this. Somebody likes you, you're like, you don't like them, you're not attracted to them, or something like about them, it creeps you out, gives you red flags. And then you're chasing the cheese, and the cheese is getting away from you, and you're just like, nobody ends up satisfied, and you have to just go back and take a nap or whatever. And do your everyday stuff, sleep, shelter, food, water, air. Like, you just have to do your basic necessities that it takes you to stay alive. And that's that is what is bothering me right now. So I wanted to add in the story because of personal issues I have. I wanted to add about, I see a lot of YouTube women, whether they're older than me, younger than me, heavy set, like not heavy set, and almost 100% of these women that I watch on YouTube have a husband or a partner, like a long-term boyfriend, and I don't get that. And most of the ones that I'm thinking in my mind, some are older and they're like mature, they got a good job and they're happy in their marriage and they might be heavy set. Like I don't care if they're heavy set, but they're just like they want somebody to do their goal is really to lose weight, and they're mad that they're not, and they're like ashamed of themselves and stuff. But the one thing, like I've been there, done that. The one thing that I don't understand is how to get the man and keep them and find somebody like very decent, like very like keepable. And excuse me, I'm like, when you watch their videos, they're not talking about dating. They're not talking about. So the reason I brought that up is some of them, the age and the gray hair and post-child and the weight, the fat in places that you never knew fat could build up. And so in my story, I would like to say, um, for my character that I want, like, what is, like, an individual? Okay, so that whole modeling thing, I talked to some young ladies the other day, and they told me, oh, you should get on Instagram and put up that you're looking, because she goes, she's like a model. She goes, you should say that you're wanting to model, because there's a lot of new photographers that are looking for subjects that they can practice on. And I said, oh, that's a great idea. I don't have an Instagram. So it's like kind of like that's a good way to get a lot of different people. She said she had other people wanting to do that, and she said some of these people were really, really new. They actually need help. They're like, I don't know what to do. What should I have you do? And she was mad, and she was like, you should, um, like you should think like you should look at the model and think, oh, this would look good. This, so they needed like some inspiration and all that. But at the same time, I know this lady was really young. I know I've been new at a lot of stuff, and one of the best things that guy or whoever said was, "What do I do? Help!" Was ask for help, and helps get some ideas, because then I can decide later what if someone helps them, what they like and what they don't, and go from there. That's my opinion, but that's not part of the story. The story was to put the pictures up. I just wanted to do it because I have like no pictures of me. I had some stuff from my pregnancy and some like where you take the shadow and you get a wall image. And we had made one of those and cut it out and glued it to a darker piece of paper, and all that stuff got lost when I fled my last marriage. I don't have pictures of me. I have some horrible selfies, and if we do a holiday, I take a picture of the kids opening gifts, but I don't have, I might say, oh wait, I should take one of me, and I'll take one and it's like completely dark, my hair's sticking straight up, and I'm wearing freaking pajamas. Like, it's like the horrible, like, not even cute pajamas. It's like the horrible thing, and um, I really feel selfish whenever I think of something. I feel selfish. So I got to thinking for this online dating. I've been asked the question multiple times. What are you looking from this site? What are you looking to get? Or, you know, I don't know. Like the first step is admitting it. What am I looking for? I'm looking to meet some people and I'm looking for companionship. When I 10 days ago signed up for this site, I felt like it was a mental, it's like when you put in an application for med school for some other program that you want to get in, or go audition for a play, you physically put yourself out there and you're in like, you could think about it all day. So I was talking about, what was it, the frogs thinking in the boat or something, and they all think we should get out, but if, like, they have the plan to get out, jump out of the boat before it sinks, but they don't, so they're just gonna drown. I don't know. I don't remember that one. Sorry. I like frogs; they can swim, but I was just like, they made a decision. They made a decision to do something. Let's jump out of here, okay? But they don't act. So I made a decision, in 2004, that I'm done with my marriage and that I'm gonna work on the homeless crisis for myself and my kids, and getting legally divorced. And then that took years, and it's still been like 10 years, like, that I've been single. So I had to say, part of it for a lot of us is having other people not find you attractive. I think that's probably the biggest, because if somebody, like, if I find someone attractive, or they look friendly or joyful, or they come up to me, like, I see regular customers and they're like jolly, and they have their own little quirks, like, yeah, hi, how are you, or they want to talk about their health issue, whatever. It's like, whatever age, younger people, older people, old people. I had one that I met, that I was introduced to, 96-year-old, the other day at work. I had another 90-something-year-old write in one of my workbooks because he wanted to show me how well he wrote his name at his age. Like, all of these people, it's just community. But sometimes you think, if somebody were to think that I was, if they were single and they were, like, looking, searching, and that they thought I was someone they could get to know, they wouldn't hesitate to talk to me. But nobody's really done that. So for all these years, like, it's never ever. It's like there's like two people, one crazy, and one guy that was in a relationship with his girlfriend, and it's like, these people, like, I'm not gonna go out with. So I have, like, those two guys in my entire freaking, like, the only two people in Oregon that have said they liked me. And then one guy took it back after I returned his phone call, after he, like, called me a bazillion times, and I was either busy or screening my calls because I didn't know what to do. So it's like, part of it, you do feel like it is me. It's not their fault that they're not attracted to me. And even if you're shy, or you're like not all about looks, like, somebody, you could be like, oh, you could just say hi, or you could smile, or you could just, like, sometimes it's natural. You look at someone and you lock eyes, and you're like, but you're human. Like, you're not always. Some people, maybe they are. You're not honestly always trying to jump in a sack with somebody, right? Um, so so in my story, and which reflects my real life, people would say, "Oh, you think that you're." Um, Need validation, or then it's like, you get, like, cocky and say, man, you're missing out on this. So since I've only had two things said to me from relationships with men, two things said about my body that were nice, and with my ex, it was kind of like that my stretch marks from birth looked cool, like literally that, and because I had, like, ivory looking teeth because of the fluoride in my well growing up. Like, those are the two compliments I got. 10 years of marriage. That's the two. I remember them. My flaws, having fluoride in my water, and having my stretch marks look cool. Like, they're like, I don't know. It's kind of like African wildcat type look. I had someone say it's so disgusting to see people in bikinis with stretch marks at the beach and how that they should totally cover their body up. This lady that was like 5'10" and 100 pounds, and they had a baby once. They're also really white, and sometimes it's just genetic. Sometimes it's like I have dark skin and you have kind of like scar tissue and it's like stain for different things that happen to you that are more in white. And I was really, really sad. I was really, really sad, and I posted a picture of my stretch marks on Facebook, and my stomach was like super skinny. Like this just a few years ago. It's still up there, but I was like, this is what I go through. And this person adopted out their kids, so they apparently had unprotected sex and didn't want a kid. So, and I applaud her for having a live birth, right? But it's like the one other thing I had when you have kids and no one to help you, your body doesn't mean get to heal. You can't pamper yourself. You don't have money to apply creams and go, have, self care, and that makes for me stuff really worse. So for me, I feel like I don't need someone to validate, but it's like it's on my bucket list for somebody to be like, wow, your body is interesting. Like, can you give me an opinion? And I don't care if they say it's nasty and flabby and has scars everywhere. Like, will I feel hurt? Maybe, but I just wanna know what somebody thinks, because sometimes I'm like, it's like if I wear clothes, like I don't have any pants that actually fit. They're all way too big. So it's like if I wear like I'm like standing here like this. If I wear like a tank top and I'm like, oh, I know I have this bulgy belly because I had kids. I don't have surgery, so I don't have skin reduction. And I know I have like pants that never fit, so they're like, if it's like you're like a size 8 and you're wearing like a 12 or something, it's like you have like way too much extra fabric here. And it's like, okay, let me pull this all the way up to my chest. And it's like, then it's like you giving yourself a wedgie because you have like all this fabric here. And so it's like all like bunched up, and then it's like shorts and my pant legs never. These are supposed to be like capris or something. Like, oh, they fit perfectly. I still go to the top they put. So I don't know. I just want to know, like, especially being old and just like if I went to gym every day, there would definitely be some. It would show that I would have some effort. I think working these jobs where I'm on my feet and pushing and lifting is like really, like, but it's like unless I went to do plastic surgery and had, because if you gain a lot of weight, you gain more fat cells. If you gain it from fat, not muscle, you gain a lot of fat cells, and then they shrink down and they don't go away. They're still there. So being obese, it's like that. Those fat cells wouldn't go away unless I use a procedure. And extra skin, when people, I looked online, self-conscious, like I was just curious, especially as a doctor, how much weight do they lose before, like, insurance? Oh, it's always about insurance. Before insurance will pay for loose skin. I'm scared to do that, but I was surprised that like pretty much the amount of weight that I lost is one of the things um, that people will have the skin removed, because it just like flops around and it's so gross. It's so gross. Like when I gained weight, I was working out a lot. I was eating salads and oranges and almonds every day, and a few popcorn and some stuff out of the food bank. And I wasn't putting any dressing and no salt on my salad. Like, no, it was just like plain old lettuce and bananas and a couple handful of almonds, and then the popcorn. I wasn't putting anything on it. So we got a popcorn maker, and then I put butter on it because I was just gaining weight anyways. I was like, whatever. And then I remember my friend in college she was a small Hispanic. She has a tiny little stomach like my daughter, a tiny little waist. And she goes, there's one thing about you. It's like, it's like, she didn't say like you're fat or even if I was like 150 pounds, it was like, there's one thing about you. And she didn't say like, oh, you're bigger or chubby. She's like, when I touch your belly, it's freaking hard, dude. Oh, yeah, because we were, like, in med school where I was touching each other. You know, you had to do it for class, to do palpation and massage and all that. She goes, your stomach is always hard. It's like, what? What the heck? Like, yeah, I know, right? Like, I'm, like, fat. So when I gained weight, it was probably, um, I feel like when I gained weight doing martial arts 3 to 4 times a day, or 3 times a week, sorry, I was probably gaining muscle, and then that extra fat was just getting pushed out, and it wasn't converting into muscle. When you do Taekwondo is probably the hardest, like calisthenics style, but then Aikido is like you're doing a lot of stuff with Aikido. So I'm gonna put that on my bucket list, and I'm gonna go get a snack, and I'm gonna read my to-do list. It's 12 things, and I'm going to post this video first. Bye.